All right, so we're diving deep into the world of laser beam welding today,
Hmm.
and RoleCatcher has given us some awesome intel to help people get ready for those interviews.
Right. And you know what's cool? One of the things RoleCatcher really emphasizes is this whole AI thing that's shaking up how companies hire people.
Oh yeah, the AI recruiters. They
Yeah.
scan resumes for keywords and stuff?
Yeah, it's all about applicant tracking systems, or ATS.
Okay,
They filter applications
gotcha.
based on specific criteria the company is looking for.
So your resume and cover letter, got to
Absolutely.
be tailored to those algorithms.
It's crucial now, and that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that a little bit later.
Right.
But first, let's hit those interview questions.
Okay. Sounds good.
RoleCatcher has given us a bunch of examples.
Yeah.
So let's break them down.
All right.
So how about this one? What inspired you to pursue a career as a laser beam welder?
Yeah, that's a classic.
I feel like a lot of people just go to good money, you know?
Right. Oh, for sure. But there's got to be more to it than that.
Right.
You want to show that you're genuinely interested and passionate.
Yeah.
Like, talk about the precision of the technology, maybe a specific project or experience that really got you hooked.
So like if someone was always fascinated by how things are made,
Exactly.
they could talk about that.
Absolutely.
Or maybe they saw like a documentary about laser welding in aerospace or something.
Right. The key is to make it personal and relatable.
Yeah, make it real.
Now, here's a potential follow-up.
Okay.
What aspects of laser beam welding do you find most challenging?
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
They're really digging deep there.
It's not just about the positives they want to see,
Yeah.
if you understand the complexities.
For sure.
And this is your chance to shine as a problem solver.
Okay.
You could talk about need for constant attention to detail,
Mhm.
or the challenges of working with different materials.
Yeah, because every material is going to be a little bit different. All right, let's tackle another question.
Okay.
How do you ensure the quality of your welds?
Oh, this is a big one.
Yeah, I bet this is all about those inspection techniques.
Absolutely. So you got to talk about visual inspection,
Okay.
but don't just say visual inspection.
Right.
Explain what you look for,
Hmm.
cracks, porosity, undercut.
Yeah.
Then you hit them with the non-destructive testing methods,
Okay.
like X-rays or ultrasonic testing.
So it's not just about like naming the tests.
Exactly.
But you have to explain them.
Yeah, and how you've used them
Right.
in the past.
Like really show that you know what you're talking about.
Precisely show that you understand the importance of quality control,
Yeah.
and that you're familiar with the tools
Mhm.
and the techniques.
Okay, next up, how about this one? How do you handle welding projects with tight deadlines?
Time management central.
Yeah, you got to stay calm under pressure.
Exactly. Highlight your ability to prioritize tasks.
Right.
Break those projects down into manageable steps.
Okay.
Meet deadlines without sacrificing quality.
And this is a good time to maybe mention like
Right.
RoleCatcher's Copilot AI
Absolutely.
to like, help structure your answer and highlight those skills.
Exactly, because it can analyze that job description
Yeah.
and suggest ways to really tailor your responses
Right.
to what they're looking for.
It's like having a little coach right there in your corner.
Exactly. It's awesome.
Okay, so how about this one? What types of materials have you worked with in laser beam welding?
Should we just list every metal under the sun?
I'm guessing not.
Definitely not. Be specific and relevant.
Okay.
Focus on materials related to the job you're interviewing for.
Specific.
So if they specialize in aerospace,
Okay.
talk about your experience with titanium or aluminum alloys.
Gotcha.
If it's automotive, mention steel or high-strength alloys.
But tailor it
Yeah,
to the industry.
absolutely.
And don't just list those materials.
Yeah, talk about the challenges each one presents
Okay.
and how you overcome them.
All right, let's move on to a question that's a little trickier.
Okay.
How do you troubleshoot welding issues?
Yes. This is where you shine as a problem solver.
Okay.
You got to walk them through your process.
Right.
How do you identify the root cause of the issue?
Like, is it the equipment, the settings, the material?
Exactly. You got to show that you're analytical and resourceful.
So you could talk about, like, checking the laser alignment,
Yeah.
adjusting the power settings,
Mhm.
examining the material.
Exactly. The key is to demonstrate a systematic approach to troubleshooting.
Right.
And and you know what?
What?
Don't forget to mention any specific tools or techniques you use.
Yeah, to diagnose and resolve
Right.
problems.
Okay, speaking of tools,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze your answers
Uh-huh.
to these troubleshooting questions and give you feedback
Oh, wow.
on how to make them even stronger.
That's cool.
It can identify areas where you could be more specific. Provide relevant examples or highlight those key skills the employer is looking for.
Wow, so it's like having
Yeah,
an expert editor
it is.
fine-tuning your responses.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to a question that's super important in a field like this. How do you ensure safety when working with a laser beam?
Oh, safety first, always.
I imagine this is about more than just knowing the rules, though.
Absolutely. Safety is paramount in laser beam welding.
Yeah.
You got to demonstrate your knowledge of laser safety protocol.
Like what kind of things?
Eye protection,
Right.
proper ventilation handling procedures,
Okay.
but you got to go beyond just listing them.
So explain, like,
Yeah.
why each step is crucial
Exactly.
and how you personally prioritize safety.
You want to show them
Yeah.
that you're not just following the rules because you have to,
Mm-hmm.
but that you understand why they're there.
Yeah.
And you're committed to maintaining a safe work environment for yourself and everyone else.
For sure. It's like showing that commitment to safety.
Absolutely.
Okay, how about this one? How do you stay current with the latest laser welding technology?
Ooh, this is all about showing your dedication to continuous learning.
Yeah.
Mention industry publications you read, conferences you attend, online courses you've taken,
Mm-hmm.
or even professional organizations you're a member of.
Right, so you're always learning.
Yeah,
You're always growing.
exactly. And if you've used RoleCatcher
Oh, right.
to research industry trends or identify areas for professional development,
Yeah,
definitely mention that.
good point.
It shows you're using the platform to its full potential.
Okay, let's hit a question that's geared towards those future leaders. How do you manage a team of laser beam welders?
All right, this is about showcasing your leadership style
Okay.
and your experience, whether it's collaborative,
Mm-hmm.
delegative, or a mix.
Yeah.
You talk about setting clear expectations,
Right.
providing constructive feedback,
Gotcha.
fostering a positive team dynamic.
So, like, talk about how you motivate your team.
Yeah.
Delegate tasks.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure everyone's working together.
Exactly. And if you have any specific examples of successful team projects,
Ooh, yeah.
you definitely share those.
Okay, this next one can be a little intimidating.
Okay.
How do you approach complex welding projects?
You got to break it down.
Okay.
Show them you have a strategic mindset.
Right.
Explain how you'd analyze the project.
Right.
Break it into manageable steps,
Mm-hmm.
and collaborate with engineers or
To
designers.
ensure success.
Yeah, you could even use RoleCatcher's AI to simulate this whole process
Oh, wow.
and see what steps it suggests.
That's cool, like a virtual brainstorming partner.
Exactly.
Okay, last question for this section.
All right, hit me.
How do you balance quality and efficiency in your welding work?
This one's all about showing them that speed isn't everything.
Yeah.
Explain how you maintain high standards
Yeah.
while working efficiently,
Okay.
perhaps using techniques that optimize both quality and speed.
Mm-hmm.
You could even mention a time you had to prioritize one over the other. Oh, interesting.
And how you made that decision.
Yeah, and again, RoleCatcher's AI can
You can?
help tailor that answer
Absolutely.
to the company's values and priorities.
It's about showing them that you're not just a skilled welder,
Right.
but that you understand the bigger picture
Mm-hmm.
and can align your work with the company's goals.
So you're an asset.
Precisely.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
from like the role of AI to these interview questions.
Yeah.
But before we move on, let's take a quick breather.
Okay.
And then we'll dive back into RoleCatcher's career guide for some additional insights.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, so let's jump into RoleCatcher's career guide.
Yeah, let's do it.
They've got some really good stuff in here
Ah,
about what it takes to succeed as a laser beam welder.
yeah. Acing that interview is just the first step.
Right.
Got to know what you're getting into.
You got to know what to expect once you actually land the job.
And RoleCatcher breaks down the typical career path,
Okay.
starting with entry-level positions.
So what does an entry-level laser beam welder actually do?
It's like an apprenticeship.
Oh, yeah.
You're assisting those experienced welders,
Mm-hmm.
prepping materials, learning the ropes under close supervision.
Yeah.
It's all about proving your reliability
Right.
and that laser-sharp attention to detail.
I bet there's a lot of emphasis on safety training at this stage.
Absolutely. Safety is paramount, especially when you're first starting out.
Makes sense.
You'll be learning all those protocols,
Right.
mastering the equipment, building those good habits from day one.
Okay, so you've put in the time, you've proven your skills.
Right.
Now you're moving up to a junior welder role.
Mm-hmm.
What changes?
more independence.
Ooh.
You'll be setting up machines,
Uh-oh.
tackling a wider variety of welding tasks,
Mm-hmm.
and even troubleshooting some basic issues.
So you're not just following instructions anymore.
Yeah.
You're starting to make decisions
Right.
and solve problems.
Right. It's like leveling up your skills,
Yeah.
taking on more responsibility.
And this is where that solid foundation from that entry-level experience really pays off.
Absolutely.
All right, and finally, you reach the top senior laser beam welder.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
You're the welding guru.
Oh,
You're leading teams developing procedures for complex projects
wow.
and mentoring those entry-level folks you once were.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah, you're the go-to expert everyone relies on.
That's awesome. It's a real climb, but it sounds incredibly rewarding.
It is.
But let's get back to those interview questions for a minute.
Okay.
We talked about how to answer them.
Right.
But what about those curveball questions that interviewers love to throw?
Oh, yeah, the unexpected ones?
Yeah, like designed to see how you think on your feet.
Exactly.
Like, tell me about a time you failed.
Yeah.
Or what's your greatest weakness,
Ooh, those can be tough.
if you're not prepared.
They can, but the key is to stay calm.
Okay.
Think before you speak and be authentic. Remember, they're not necessarily looking for a right answer.
Yeah.
They want insight into how you approach challenges and learn from your experiences.
So for that, tell me about a time you failed question.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to pretend like you've never messed up.
No, definitely not everyone makes mistakes.
Right.
It's about owning up to them, explaining what you learned and how you've grown.
So you turned it into a positive.
Exactly.
Okay, what about that greatest weakness question? Should you try to spin it into a positive, like, I'm a perfectionist?
I mean, that's a common approach,
Yeah.
but it can sound a bit cliche.
Yeah.
It's better to be genuine
Okay.
and choose a weakness that you're actively working on improving.
So like maybe.
Maybe you're not the best at public speaking,
Oh,
but you're taking a course to build your confidence.
yeah.
Or maybe you struggle with delegation, but you're learning to trust your team more.
So it's about showing self-awareness
Uh-huh.
and a willingness to grow.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you know what? This is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful.
Oh, really?
It can analyze your answers to these behavioral questions
Interesting.
and give you feedback on how to make them more impactful.
Okay, so it's like having a personal branding expert
Exactly.
helping you craft that perfect narrative.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit
All right.
and talk about networking.
Okay.
RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of building connections in the welding industry.
I can see why.
Yeah, it's a specialized field.
It is.
So knowing the right people can open doors.
So where do you start? How do you network effectively?
Start by attending industry conferences and trade shows.
Oh,
Those events are great for meeting people, learning about new technologies,
yeah.
and making connections.
What about online networking? Is LinkedIn the place to be?
LinkedIn is definitely a valuable tool.
Okay.
Connect with people in the welding industry,
Yeah.
join relevant groups, participate in discussions.
Yeah.
You never know where those connections might lead.
All right. Let's talk about something that I think is often overlooked in job prep.
What's that?
Company research.
Oh, yeah.
RoleCatcher really stresses the importance of understanding the company you're interviewing with.
Absolutely. Going in blind is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
You want to show them that you've done your homework
Right.
and that you're genuinely interested in the company and what they do.
So where do you start with company research?
The company's website is a great starting point.
Okay.
Read about their mission, their values, their products and services.
Gotcha.
Check out their news section for recent announcements or press releases.
Okay, and what about social media?
Social media can be a goldmine.
Yeah.
Look at the company's LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook pages
Okay.
to get a sense of their culture, their values, how they interact with the public.
And don't forget about employee reviews on sites like Glassdoor.
That's a great point. Employee reviews can give you valuable insights
Yeah.
into the company's work environment management style and overall employee satisfaction.
Yeah, it's all about gathering as much information as possible.
Right.
So you can walk into that interview feeling confident and prepared.
Exactly.
And speaking of confidence, let's circle back to RoleCatcher's AI
Okay.
and how it can help boost your interview game.
Yeah, we've talked about how Copilot AI can help you tailor your resume and cover letter,
Mm-hmm.
analyze your answers to interview questions, and even provide feedback on your overall performance.
But can you give us like a concrete example of how it actually works?
Sure.
Like, let's say you're prepping for a specific interview question. Like, tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult customer.
Okay, so you've typed up your response in RoleCatcher.
Right.
You're feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah.
But then Copilot AI swoops in and analyzes your answer.
Okay.
It might suggest incorporating keywords from the job description
Okay.
to highlight specific skills related to customer service.
So it's not just about telling a good story.
No.
It's about tailoring it
Yeah.
to that specific role.
Exactly. And Copilot AI can even provide suggestions
Wow.
for how to structure your answer, making sure you're hitting all the key points
Okay.
and presenting your experience in the most compelling way.
So it's like having a story editor.
It is.
That also happens to be an AI expert.
Precisely. And that's the beauty of RoleCatcher's Copilot AI.
Yeah.
It takes the guesswork out of job prep
Right.
and provides personalized guidance to help you put your best foot forward.
Okay. Before we wrap up this section,
Right.
let's talk about salary expectations.
Oh, yes. Very important.
RoleCatcher provides some good resources on researching salaries and negotiating your compensation.
You got to know your worth.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher salary tools can help you determine the average salary.
Okay.
For laser beam welders in your area, taking into account factors like experience, education, and industry.
So you can walk into those salary negotiations feeling informed and confident.
Absolutely. And remember, salary isn't everything.
Right.
Consider the overall compensation package,
Yep.
including benefits, vacation time, and opportunities for professional development.
It's about finding that right fit
Huh?
for your career goals and your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Okay, as we head into the final part of our Laser Beam Welder deep dive,
Oh, okay.
let's ponder this. How do you see the role of a welder evolving in the future?
That's a fascinating question.
We've already touched on how automation and robotics are changing the landscape,
Yeah.
but let's dive deeper into those trends
All right.
and what they mean for aspiring welders.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere.
Mm.
We'll be right back. All right, and we're back
We are.
for the final part of our deep dive into laser beam welding.
Let's wrap this up.
We've talked about interview prep, career insights, salary negotiations, even the role of AI in the job search.
It's been a journey.
It has.
But now let's look ahead. How do you see the role of a welder changing in the coming years?
Oh, we touched on automation and robotics.
Right.
It seems like those technologies are going to play a bigger role in welding, but does that mean robots are going to replace human welders entirely?
Not necessarily.
Right.
While robots are great at repetitive tasks and
Right.
can be incredibly precise, they still need humans
Yeah.
for oversight and programming.
So it's more like a...
It's a collaboration, not a
Yeah.
replacement.
So the welder of the future might be more like a robot operator or a
And
programmer.
They'll need a deeper understanding
Okay.
of robotics, automation, and programming.
So it's a shift in skill set,
It is.
but it doesn't eliminate the need for skilled welders.
Nope.
Okay, that's reassuring. What other trends do you see shaping the future of welding?
Well, 3D printing,
Okay,
which is also known as additive manufacturing,
right.
that's a game changer.
Okay.
It's already being used to create really intricate metal components,
Mm-hmm.
and its applications in welding are expanding rapidly.
Wait, how does 3D printing relate to welding?
So imagine printing an entire welded structure,
Okay.
layer by layer, using metal powders or filaments.
Okay.
Some 3D printing processes actually use lasers to melt and fuse those materials,
Interesting.
much like laser beam welding.
So it's like a convergence of technologies.
It is. It's really fascinating.
So the welder of the future might be designing and printing these complex structures.
It's a real possibility, and it really highlights the need for
Yeah.
welders to embrace continuous learning
Mm-hmm.
and adapt to these new technologies.
So you always got to be learning and growing.
Absolutely. The ones who are willing to expand their skill set and embrace innovation,
Yeah.
they're going to be in high demand.
That's a great point. It's not just about mastering those current techniques.
No.
It's about being adaptable and staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly. And you know what?
What?
RoleCatcher actually provides resources
Okay.
for identifying those emerging skills and finding training opportunities to stay relevant.
That's fantastic. All right, before we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah, no.
let's leave our listeners with one final piece of advice. What's the most important thing to remember when embarking on a career as a laser beam welder?
Be passionate, be curious, and never stop learning.
I love that this field is constantly evolving.
It is.
So embrace the challenges, seek out new knowledge, and never lose sight of that artistry and the precision that makes laser beam welding such a cool craft.
And remember, RoleCatcher is there every step of the way,
Right.
from landing that first job to navigating your career path and staying ahead of the curve.
It's like having a trusted guide in this ever-changing world of work.
It is.
Well, on that note, we're signing off on our laser beam welder deep dive.
Right.
We hope this episode has been informative and inspiring.
Yeah.
Good luck with your job search.
Best of luck.
And remember, the future of welding is bright
It is.
for those who are prepared to embrace it.
Absolutely.